10 lies about retirement. You know, it's hard enough, guys, for people to save for retirement. Number one. Number two, there's a lot of lies out there about retirement. You shouldn't go into retirement thinking it's things it's not. Or if you're saving for retirement, you shouldn't have lies about how retirement will be when you get there. So here's number one of the 10 lies about retirement. Number one, retirement is easy street. And once you hit retirement, that's it, baby. You're going to be a gangster rapper. Everything's going to be easy for you, man. You got it all made. You know what? Retirement is just an extension of life. What happens in life? There are good times. There are bad times. You know, you go into retirement thinking hey, man, mint juleps every day at 6. What happens if you get in a medical emergency? What happens if something happens to your house? Don't go in it with blinders on, guys. Retirement is just another part of life. That's all it is. You're going to have good times. You're going to have bad times. Don't think all your problems are over when you get to retirement. Oh, yeah, you could have a great time. Believe me, I have a great time in retirement. But things pop up every once in a while, okay? So don't go in with blinders on. Number two, Social Security has got me covered, man. I don't have to worry about saving. Come on. For some of you that have already retired, that may be true. You may have your expenses so low, or you may be a couple, and both of your Social Security checks suffice. But for those of you who are younger, do not, I repeat, do not think that. You know, there may be cuts to Social Security. You might be getting 75% of what is projected to you, let's say 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now. So to my younger viewers, Social Security, it's meant to be a supplement to your retirement, okay? It's not the end-all be-all. Believe me, you need to save. Save as if Social Security will not be there for you. That's the best way to do it, as far as I'm concerned. Hey, for those of you who see me for the first time, my name is Duane. This is a retirement channel for people on moderate income. If you think you might like that, think about subscribing and like the video as well. And if you really like it, down here, you can buy me a coffee. I love coffee. Number three, you'll never have to touch your capital in retirement. What's your capital? Your capital is all your investments, your whole retirement nest egg. Hey, man, I get to retirement. I'll live off my dividends. Okay, for some of you that may work. If you have acquired something more than a moderate retirement, that may work for you. But we're talking, you have to have a lot of money in order for that to happen. So yes, you will have to touch your retirement savings, your capital. What do? I use a 4% rule. If you spend 4% of your capital on a yearly basis, you should be good. This rule has been back tested all the way back to before 1900. That's what I go off of. And you know what? It's adjusted by inflation too. Okay? You can adjust that every single year. Now, there may be years where you don't even need to use your 4%. Like in my case, my YouTube channel is bringing income in for me. I haven't touched my retirement savings since 2022, okay? But you are gonna have to touch it at some point. Don't think you can just never touch that capital and live off dividends, for example. Number four, you're gonna need 75 to 85% of your pre-retirement income in order to live in retirement. Okay, that may have been the research up to, let's say, a couple years ago. But you know what they're finding lately, guys? And also, when you first start retirement, you're going to be spending more than you will when you're 85. Research has shown that. But also what recent research has shown is that some people may need as little as 50% of their pre-retirement income to live off of in retirement. Research, hey, things are always changing. You got to keep up on this, right? I am trying to do that for you guys. So 75 to 85%, that's a good number to shoot for, but you may need less. Who knew? Number 5, you need a financial advisor. No. I think the stat, I just did a recent video on this. I should know this, shouldn't I? I'm going senile. Am I going senile? You're going senile. I believe it's 1 in 3 people have been to a financial advisor at some point in their life. What about the other two people out of 3? If you've got your numbers nailed down, if you've been doing your own research, if you've been just perusing information on retirement and finances for, let's say, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, you may not need a financial advisor. And of course, just as I start this video, the wind is popping up. Come on, man. So yeah, I get by on my own. There are a lot of people I know who get by on their own, but if you feel you need a financial advisor, by all means get one. There are some good ones out there. Just make sure you do your research and go for a fee-only fiduciary. Number 6, and this is what my whole channel is all about. You need $1 million to retire. You don't. Look at my channel, guys. Retire early, $500K. You don't need $1 million. Sure, it could help. It could really help. But the vast majority of people that retire do not have $1 million in savings. 3% of all people have $1 million in their retirement savings. 10% of people have $1 million in their retirement savings plus their additional savings. Okay? You don't need $1 million to retire, guys. I'm doing fine. I know it's only 3 years in, but extrapolating out my expenses and everything, I'm going to be just fine, and so will you. Number 7. Hey, the government. The government will take care of all my medical expenses. That's what Medicare is for, man. No. No. Do your research on that. Medicare does not cover a lot of things. Even if you get Medicare supplements, that still may not cover everything. So for those of you doing a healthcare savings plan while you're working, good idea. I didn't do it. Maybe I should have. Medicare will not cover all your medical expenses. Know that from the outset. It will not. You have to have enough money saved up. A lot of people look at this and go, hey, I don't have to worry about my medical stuff when I'm 65. Yeah, you do. In some cases, you really do. Do not let that fallacy stop you from saving for retirement. It's just not true. Number 8. Hey, there's plenty of time to save for retirement. You know what? I can always catch up later. You know what, guys? I didn't start saving until I was 40. Seriously. Okay? As most of you know. I wish I had started at 25. I would have been this would not have been a channel on moderate retirement income. It would have been much higher. Okay? There's not a lot of time. Time goes like that. You have to start saving as early as possible. And the thing about, I can catch up later. Yeah, there are catch-up contributions you can make in your 50s that allow you to save more into your 401ks and IRAs. But you know what? What happens if you get laid off when you're 53 and because of ageism, it's hard to get another job with the same salary? That happened to me. When I got laid off from the music industry, that was the most I ever made. My next 3 jobs, my salary went boop, 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 boop. Yeah. It happens. Unexpected things happen. So start saving now. No, there is not enough time for you to start saving. Start saving now. Things happen. Number 9. Hey, man, I'm just going to downsize my house. I got this retirement thing covered. Okay, great. Downsize your house. Take the equity from your first house. Pay for your downsized house in cash. Pay less in utilities. Great. It's not going to cover everything. What about, again, these emergencies I just talked about? You may get some rare medical condition that forces you to pay for a lot of stuff out of pocket. You think your equity in your first house and your downsizing is going to leave you enough money to pay for those? All kinds of things happen, guys. All kinds of things happen all the time in retirement. Again, retirement is not always just easy street. You got to prepare for things that can happen that are unexpected. So downsizing is great. It's not going to take care of everything. And number 10, hey, you know what? I'm expecting a big inheritance. Okay, what happens if it doesn't happen? You ever think about that? People revise their wills all the time. What happens if your Uncle Edmund, you guys are in good graces? Now, not so much. There goes your big inheritance you were counting on. Yeah, if it's great, awesome. It's gravy on top. If it happens, great, is what I meant to say a second ago. If it happens, great. That's gravy on top of your normal savings. And it'll be easier for you in your retirement. But do not rely on a inheritance that you think now is 100% or 99% sure. What happens 5 years down the line when he or she rewrites his will and you are not in it? Happens all the time, guys. Don't rely on that. So there you go. There are 10 lies about retirement. Don't fall for any of those, guys. And as always, from the beautiful high desert, as you can see behind me, we had some rain earlier. Awesome weather right now. 78 maybe. Awesome. As always, guys, we got this.